This Diocese of Houma Thibodeau program is brought to you by Crosby Tugs. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Falls. Once again, very pleased to have with us the superintendent of the Diocese of Houma Thibodeau Schools, Dr. Mark Williams. Always good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Martin.
And I know you're doing a great job because I keep up with the schools, and we talked about it before. There's always something new coming up. Repetition becomes boredom. There's no repetition in the schools. Y'all are changing things up.
It's a new day. Every day when we come to work, it is a new day. We just listened to the Pope at the end of October talk about he released his first apostolic letter, and it couldn't have been more perfect what he said. It was called, just basically searching for new ways and new means of hope with these young people. And with technology and AI, we've really got to make sure we continue to look at new ways of doing things.
And that y'all are doing. And we have a slide presentation that y'all have provided. So I thought it'd be good, because y'all reach out in several areas of probably all of our viewing areas. So it'd be nice to encapsulate all that, tell the people what's happening in the school system. So let's go to the slides if we can and let you take the floor.
Sure.
All right. What do we have here, Doc?
We have our overall vision in Catholic schools, which is really to form boys and girls who be good citizens of this world, and really good citizens of the next. We have a teacher who welcomes the boys and girls every morning, telling them, "Good morning, saints," because that's what we hope. We hope that they can fulfill their destiny to be saints. And some of the things that we're trying to do in the schools is certainly pointed towards helping doing that.
Well, we hope we all get there one day, but
That's
sometimes you need a little help, right?
We need a little help.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's show a picture. There we have the school pastors. Got some high-powered people in those places.
Yes, those pastors right there are obviously the pastors of our schools. These guys are working hard, much harder than the pastors of a parish without a school. You have more complexity. You've got 7-figure budgets. You've got a lot more. You've got the opportunities to get a lot more people to heaven, but it's not easy.
Yeah, you got to put the business in with the getting to heaven in.
Right.
No doubt.
Right.
All right, Jay, we'll move along. They had called to lead, called to serve.
Yeah, those are our presidents and principals of all of our Catholic schools in the Diocese of Houma Thibodeau. I like to say that, just as our priests received, they have a calling to their vocation as priests, school leaders, it's such a hard job that I believe the Blessed Mother went to each and every one of them and invited them to leadership as well. It's a difficult job. Not everyone can do it. It's a life. It is not just something you go to for 8 hours a day.
And we sort of talk about it back in the day when we had Brother Gaspard and the Brothers of the Sacred Heart. We didn't have social media. We didn't have people, putting everything under the microscope. It's different today.
It is, but I'll tell you, those guys were great role models.
They were.
For people today.
They were tough.
They were tough.
But fair.
And they ggave everything they had. They were great role models
Brother
for people
Matthias,
like me.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Brother Matthias. Certainly a lot of memories that come with that. But, of course, you have a leader. I want to bring Bishop Simon Peter's picture up there because we can't talk about division without bringing up Bishop S.P. He's hit the ground running, hasn't he?
He has, and he loves schools. And that is what I absolutely love about him is he wants to be in the schools. Just on Friday, this past Friday, he led a Eucharistic procession at St. Genevieve in Thibodeau and came and had lunch with our special needs students from Vanderbilt and E.D. White, Miss Greta Cologne over at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
She hosted both schools, the programs at both schools. He came to eat lunch. And so
That's who he is.
that's who he is. He's in the schoolhouse. He's great. He
loves children.
He loves them.
He loves bestowing the Christianity on children. That's obvious.
he loves to ask them. He loves to say, "What questions do you have for me?" Because he gets to see where they are
Right. That's
with
a good
those
point.
questions.
Amen on that. All right, let's talk about succession planning in the Catholic schools.
Yeah. Well, according to the National Catholic Educators Association, about 2,500 Catholic schools have closed across the country in the last 3 decades. The primary reason for that is lack of succession planning. You have a pastor or a principal who's very good. They're at the school for a while. They leave. They don't have a really good succession plan and somebody ready to take the role. And as a result, the school, goes into decline. So in this diocese, what I have found is a lot of very talented people, but nobody ever invited them to leadership. So I decided I'm going to be the one to do that. And so we found many really good people through our St. Elizabeth Ann Seton cohort. She was a patron saint of Catholic education. So we're on our 3rd cohort right now of inviting younger people into school leadership. Many of them up on the screen there, those are some of them who have accepted. They're leaders of schools now, and they're doing great. And what the best part about it is? They're from this area. We didn't go find them in Baton Rouge or, out of state or in New Orleans. We found them here.
They're vested in the community.
They're vested and they're going to be right here.
That's a good
They're
deal.
going to be right here.
I like that. Let's do this. We'll take a little short break. When we come back, superintendent is here. So listen up. It's got some good stuff happening in and around the schools. We'll be right back. This Diocese of Houma Thibodeau program has been brought to you by Crosby Tugs. All right, Dr. Mark Williams is back with us, the superintendent of the Diocese of Houma Thibodeau Schools. And I'm learning a lot because as we bring up this next graphic, y'all have sort of brought the Catholic school system into the business attire. It looks different than when we went to school. We never saw graphs like this. We see them now. They're necessary, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Talk about this one.
We measure what we treasure. And so, and of course, one of the things that we treasure is academic achievement. And this particular chart was one that we measured the students' learning loss when they come back to school. This is from August. And we found that our 5th graders, lost a lot. And so what we did is we gave our St. Elizabeth Ann Seton cohort the challenge of figuring out what do we need to do in 5th grade. And of course, now the kids are doing much, much better. And our scores are across the board higher than the national average, state average. And I just want to make sure that continues. So
That's pretty neat that y'all know that there's a need to track that. You're paying attention to the details,
we
to
are,
what's in front of you.
right, no doubt, and trying to use that to make sure the teachers have the tools that they need to make sure they're teaching meaningful content in the classrooms, not just teaching to a test or just teaching from a textbook, but teaching exactly what the students need.
That's good stuff. It really is. Let's bring up the next slide. There we go. You said measure.
Measure what we
treasure.
treasure. That's a primary theme. We measure everything. Everything.
That's a good slogan. I like that. Who thought of that?
I did.
Did you? I
Yes.
like that. That's pretty cool.
did.
I didn't know you had a marketing background.
I don't.
All right, let's go to the next one if we can. And we treasure a strong enrollment.
We do.
That's a big key. Isn't it?
We do. I mean, at the end of the day, if we don't have, if we don't have a strong enrollment, well, we don't have a ministry. And so we want to make sure that couple of things. We want to make sure that when people need us, we're there for them. And we want to make sure that everyone who wants a Catholic education can have one, not just the rich or, you know, we want to make sure if you're a young parent, you have a child and you want to be in Catholic school, we have to make sure we can make that happen.
What's that come through endowment programs and different
Endowments, thanks to our foundation is very, very good to us.
Yeah.
So all of our endowments, we work a lot with grants and foundations to make sure that we can make that happen.
That's good stuff. I like that too. All right, next graphic, Jay, and the classroom environment. That's so important.
It is. We use a platform called Bullseye, which is a cloud-based platform to measure what we see in our classrooms. As a district, as a diocese, we've done about 456 formal classroom observations up to this point. And, you know, that's going to continue. We'll probably hit 1,000 before the year's over. We measure what we treasure inside of those classrooms.
Let's go to the assessment of religious knowledge, the ARC one,
test.
Jay, if we can, because that seems, with about 2.5 minutes left, that seems to be very important.
Yeah, what we've decided is that when we look at this data, we want to double down on virtue. That is what we want to move the needle. When we first started taking this test, we noticed that the students were needed work and virtue, and that's what we're going to focus our efforts.
What about the Roman Robichaud Virtue Award? That's pretty cool.
Well, in addition to each and every school having virtue awards, we have a diocesan virtue award, and we're thankful for the Robichaud family. Their endowment with the Catholic Foundation funds these awards, and they give away checks to students and families of these virtue winners for their tuition.
And I'm just looking at it, you got 7th grade reading, 7th grade mathematics,
We're
7th
doing
grade
very well.
language.
We're doing
And
very
y'all
well.
Y'all are smoking it right there.
Same thing on
Academic
ECT, very, very well. Our ECT scores are very, very strong, continue to be strong. We're looking to even grow them further.
And let's talk about the total financial impact of the Catholic education. That number's a lot higher than I thought.
36 million in this diocese. That's the investment it takes for the diocese in its entirety to to have 10 good, solid schools, educating kids in the faith and virtue, and it's a big number. But how can we not do it? It's what we do.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you. I know you're going to make a choice now to either go into Edie White or Vanderbilt to watch your schools play. Good that they're both in it. And just want to thank you for always coming on and sharing. You take the tough questions, but we got a lot of good going on in our system. And I want to thank you for being the leader and working with our great bishop and making those kids have a well-rounded education. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me, Martin.
All right, Dr. Mark Williams, always good to see you. We'll take a break. We'll have a lot more right here on Bayou Time. This Diocese of Houma Thibodeau program has been brought to you by Crosby Tugs.